House Homeland Security Committee Chairman Mike MacCallum. Good to see you tonight.
Oh, thanks for having me, Martha.
MacCallum. So obviously there's a big effort underway to find something that both sides can agree on here. And one of the discussions, that the White House has talked about 4 pillars of immigration. But the one that sounds like it's being discussed the most right now on Capitol Hill only has 2. It's DACA, a plan for the Dreamers, and then a border security plan out of that. Is that what you think should happen?
Now, I was in the White House meeting with the president. We're all bipartisan. We agreed on the 4 pillars, that being border security, which is a bill I passed out of my committee. I think everyone agrees with that one. Chain migration, which I think is very important to reform in a generation the immigration system. Remember the 2 New York attacks, one sprung out of chain migration, the other out of the lottery system. We want to deal with that reform, close the legal loopholes so we don't have another DACA situation 5 years down the road. And then finally, the last pillar is to deal with DACA and provide a DACA fix.
But that's not what I'm hearing from on the Senate side, from Senators Corker, from Senator Rubio. They're saying there's no way that you will get 60 votes if you include chain migration, which they call reunifying of families, and also the lottery issue, which the president feels very strongly about. I know you feel very strongly about. Are you willing? Did they call those 2 things enhancements to this bare bones bill? How are you gonna find some middle ground there?
Well, I can tell you, House Republicans want to have a generation of immigration reform. We want to fix DACA, but we want the security to make sure DACA doesn't happen again. If we don't close the legal loopholes that exist right now, the Secretary told me, for instance, when people come in, other than Mexico and Canada, she cannot deport them. And so they stay in the United States. So we got to fix that problem.
We might get nothing, you know? I mean, do you think Democrats are going to come to the table and actually make a deal and sign this and stand next to the president with all of you at the White House and say, look, we came together and we did this? Do you think that's going to happen?
I think if they want, us to fix a DACA situation, and the president is very generous with 1.8 million children on a path to citizenship, which will be another point of contention, I think, with the House. I think, the president is a good negotiator. He presented that to the Senate. I think, look, we're going to stand
pretty firm. If you had to place a bet on getting a deal for the Dreamers that has border security, how does that shake out for right now? 50%?
Well, look, for me, the border security piece, I've been trying to get this done for 7 terms in Congress before that as a federal prosecutor. We've never had any movement on border security. If I can get out of my bill $25 billion to put down on the border to secure it once and for all with physical barriers and technology and personnel, that's a huge step forward for the American people. We see, again, this is a great opportunity to get things done that we have never.
Well, we'll see if the other side agrees. So.